Hello, you're watching Daily News on All News Nigeria. I am Okweyemi Olugbemi. Here are the headlines for today. House of Reps urges INEC to deregister deceased registrants. Newly recruited Nigerian police officers cry out over unpaid salaries. Nigerians to be plunged into darkness over debt. Welcome back. Now the news. Ahead of the upcoming governorship elections in some states in Nigeria, the House of Representatives has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to ensure figures and data of dead people are removed from the database of the registered voters in the country. This was revealed in a legislative resolution following a motion of urgent national concern by a member, Leke Abejide, drawing the House's attention to what he described as irregularities detected during the 2023 general elections.
Apart from dead voters, there are millions of fictitious voters who do not exist anywhere in this planet Earth, but have their names on INEC register of voters. It is believed that this came to being as a result of double or multiple registration by Nigerians who had or have intention of rigging elections.
Abejide, who proposed the notion, stated that his late father's name appeared in the INEC registration. This was the legislator's resolution following a motion of urgent national concern by a member, Leke Abejide, drawing the House's attention to what he regarded as irregularities witnessed during the 2023 general elections. The lawmakers also requested the Electoral Commission to deregister any voter who fails to vote in 2 consecutive election cycles.
I have witnessed one person voting twice in my constituency because his name appeared twice on 2 different polling units.
It's time for INEC to do verification of voters, actual voters, as they are doing their continuous voters register, so that they can clean up anybody who does not come up to verify.
However, an independent election observation group, Yaga Africa, stated that removing the names of deceased people from the voters register before the 2023 elections will be difficult for the Independent National Electoral Commission because Nigeria does not have an accurate death register. As a result, the organization proposed that President Muhammadu Buhari gives his approval to the electronic transmission of results under the Electoral Amendment Bill in order to limit voting by dead persons. Moving on to the next news, thousands of constables who were recently recruited into the Nigerian police force have not been paid salaries for the past 4 months. The recruits passed out of the police training institutions on December 29, 2020, and have not been paid since then despite resuming their duty posts across the country. The affected officers lamented that the situation had demoralized many of them as were finding it difficult to meet their responsibilities to their families. Most of the constables were surviving on bribes and extortion due to the delay in the payment of salaries. They have been reporting at their respective duty posts without pay since January 2023. The police constable appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari and the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, to come to their aid and save them from being dependent on others for daily bread. In January, the Police Service Commission asked the Accountant General of the Federation to halt the capture of the 10,000 constables on the integrated payroll and personnel system. According to the public service rules, public officers not captured on the IPPIS cannot be paid salaries and other emolument. The development followed the alleged refusal of the Inspector General of Police to submit their names to the PSC for vetting on the grounds that he was empowered by the Police Act 2020 to recruit constables into the force. The commission had also written to the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, and the Head of Service, Folashade Yemi Eson, about the enrollment of police officers on the salary portal without letters of appointment. Finally, on the news, millions of electricity consumers may be plunged into darkness in the coming weeks as the federal government, via the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, and the market operator have begun a massive disconnection of data electricity distribution companies from the national grid. According to reports, the development followed notices of disconnection from the grid served on some of the discos by the market operator. The market operator, a division of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, had informed some discos, including generating companies, of the disconnection plan due to failure to make remittances of ancillary services bills. Since the notice, electricity supply had degenerated further across the country, with many areas complaining of either low or no supply. The Executive Director, MO Edi, in a recent statement, advised erring discos to make necessary payments. This followed an intervention by the Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu. Based on the 60 days extension of the grace period, the market defaulters were expected to comply with the provisions of the market's rules with respect to payment of their outstanding invoices, posting of adequate bank guarantees, and forwarding of their active power purchase agreement, as the case may be, to the market operators. The areas to be affected by the mass disconnection are Oyo, Ogun, Osun, Kwara, and parts of Niger, Ekiti, and Kogi State. And that's it on today's news. For more updates, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. We'll be back with more news updates next week. Until then, stay tuned. I am Opeyemi Olubemi. Do have a great weekend.